And we are live. Welcome to Groove Asia Leaders Unite. My name is Nick. I am VP of Technology at Groove Asia. And one of the things that I do is to do a series of sessions like this. It's all about courses and communities. And if you've seen on the our YouTube channel, I've done 14 previous to this. Done it virtually every week. I'm absolutely enjoying doing it because one of the things about what we do is to give value, give information, give suggestions so that you can make up your own mind, but you can help grow your business. Now, one of the things that I'm very much interested in, as I said, is to share information and so on. So, if you want, one of the things that we can do as a community is you can come along to our events and so on. So, I'll give you some links later on where you can actually find out one of the things that some of the things that we do, and also uh, events that you can attend and so on. So one of the things I'll point out is just under 2 weeks' time, we're doing 5-day challenges, and it's back again. And we're going to do a 5-day challenge live. We're going to stream it, and it's going to be every week. Sorry, every days, once a month, all the way through. And my aim is to get all the way through to December. Let's see how we can get on with that. Now, one of the things that is really important about some of the things that we're doing here in terms of courses and communities is to help you give you a different perspective. Maybe you're thinking about it already, maybe you're not thinking about it, but that's okay. What I want you to do is to remember we all have our skills, knowledge, and experience. Okay, so let's get on with the slideshow here today. And one of the things that I'm interested in, as I said, is today we're going to decide and we're going to talk about forging meaningful customer journeys. Okay, forge meaningful customer journeys. All right, so let's find out more about that. One of the things that we want to do is to actually go and say, right, let's look and see what it means to have an online course. Well, the impact of the online course, especially over the last 3 years, 4 years now, by the way, but even before then, the impact of it is that it's a very much a high level of turnover. It's a big business. There's a global market out there. One of the things that I mentioned in previous streams was that I first I did my first online training where I delivered it. Now, don't I know I don't look I know I look too young for this, but I actually did it in 1996. All right, so I was a lecturer in business and IT, and I got a few people together. A couple of people from the USA, a couple of people from Australia, I believe it was, a couple of people from Europe, I think. And we just found a time and we just went and did it. And it was fun. It was interesting. Broke new ground for me. I very much enjoyed it. I used something called Microsoft Net Meeting, which was brand new at the time, and we didn't have video, but we had voice. We had the ability to type text, but we also had the ability to share a whiteboard. Now, if you think about it, with Zoom or with other technologies like that, you've got the video. Yes, you've got a lot more intricate things going on, but nearly 30 years ago, this has been around. Just think about that. Some of you may be aware of it, some of you may not, and some of you may not be have been on the internet for a while. Uh, I first went on it, I believe it was 1992, and back in the day, it was all text-based, IRC, Internet Relay Chat, forums, and so on. So that's all old hat. Now, nowadays, there's a lot more that you have. It's a lot easier to get access to. It's a lot easier to manage, develop, and run, and sell your courses. All right. So, in terms of the global market, take a look at this. Even 3 years ago, according to one particular source, the after COVID, the global market was $210 billion. They are projecting that by 2030, so that's 6 years' time, it's going to reach nearly 850 billion US dollars. So just take a take a check there. Just think within the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, what could you do in terms of creating a course and being able to sell it to and create a community where you can nurture them and develop with them in order for you to develop an additional income or to replace your current income. All right. So there are a number of things that people do this for, and what I do it for, to be honest, quite honest, is financial freedom. And I want the ability to go and work anywhere in the world. Uh, my work is online, but I want to be able to enjoy my time away from the work. But I enjoy time working. I want to enjoy time away from work, especially in warmer countries. Right now, it's freezing in the UK, and I can tell you that. I really feel it. 50 winters in the UK, and I'm ready to take a vacation every winter. 3 months will be fine. What about you? What are you looking for? Are you looking to pay off your college debt? Are you looking to pay off maybe hospital bills for yourself or your family? Are you looking to add to your nest egg, to your pension? Are you looking to help your children purchase their first house? What is it you want? What I want you to do is in the chat, put in hashtag live and tell me why you're doing this. And or if you're watching the replay, please put in hashtag replay and tell me why you want to. What would an additional income mean to you? What one difference would it make for you? So I want you to think about that. Write it down. Let me know. And if you've got any questions, put them in there. If I don't get to you today, we'll make sure we cover it on a different day. So to me, I want financial freedom. That's very much what I care about. Oh, here we go. We've got Anthony. Anthony, hi Anthony. Supplementary retirement, fabulous, great. Now, one of the things that uh, we can have as much money in the world. We can have as much family in the world. We can have as much love in the world. But the one thing that we do not have is time. Okay? Maybe you may not be in retirement. It sounds like Anthony is in retirement right now. Great. Well, you got supplement to your retirement. Great. Now maybe somebody is a bit younger and they're working towards retirement, but they realize that they're gonna run out of time to save the money that they wanted to save for their retirement, or maybe the investments haven't turned out as well as they'd hope, or maybe they've had to go and invest in, take some of their investment and use the money for something else, maybe to help out a family member over COVID or whatever it is. There's a shortfall. How do you make that up? Well, courses can help you. Okay, so let's talk about it further. Thanks, Anthony. So feel free to comment, and I'll bring you in anytime. Okay. So today we're going to talk about customer engagement, and I said forge meaningful customer journeys, and it's important for the for the engagement because ultimately you want to have a conversation. Even right now, I'm actually live streaming. I'm conversing to you, or to Anthony live, and so on, but also to all those people who see my stream later on. I want to create an engagement. I look back at the comments and maybe reply to them or whatever it is. If I miss something, please let me know. But one of the keys is about having the ability to listen and to engage people. Remember, and again, we looked at this in the previous 14 sessions. People will buy from you only when they know you, they like you, they trust you. So you've got to put it all out there at the front, at the beginning, okay? And you've got to go and engage. Absolutely. So the 6 areas I'm going to cover today. So let's take it from here. Understanding the customer life cycle, Personalization as an engagement tool, I think that's very, very important. I mentioned this last week, didn't I, about videos and sending a personal video to somebody. Feedback loops, continuous improvement. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the tech in customer engagement. And you don't have to be a tech expert. And this is one of the reasons I want to tell you is that you don't have to be a tech expert. You just have to be aware of what it is, and then either you do it or get somebody else to do it. Rewarding loyalty and advocacy, absolutely. Getting super fans. I talked about this last week, didn't I? And also measuring engagement success. Well, data. Data trumps everything. Data trumps feelings. Data trumps visions. Data trumps dreams. Data is fact. Something that you can touch and feel, tangible statistics, tangible figures to help you make better decisions in your business. All right, and one of them is about engagement, and we'll touch on that today as well. All right. Now then, let's look at this understanding the customer's life cycle. Okay, so what that actually means is, let me just bring it over here. But we talked about this before. You need to know who your customer is. You need to be specific, niche down. Remember, an inch wide, a mile deep. Really niche down. And I talk about these in the previous streams that I've created. Now, you know your customer. You know what their problems are. You know what that you have a solution that can help them. And so you need to know what their journey is. Give a typical example. Give a name for your fictitious customer or your customer avatar. Give a name for it. You have the ability to go and say, right, this person, this is their profile, this is their age, this is their gender, this is their circumstance, this is their economic, socioeconomic status, whatever it is. Maybe they are professionals, maybe they are not professionals, maybe they are business people, maybe they work in a big city bank, maybe they are solopreneur. So you need to know this, write it down, and then work out their journey, what it is that they're doing, what it is they're short of, where are they in their journey? Because if you can map that out and if you can actually pinpoint that, you can create touch points, strategies to create touch points with them at each stage of their life cycle. All right. So what does that mean in real life? Okay, let me give you an example. One of the things, and I've talked about this before, one of my clients is a pet professional. And so over the years, she is fabulous at what she does, absolutely fabulous. She's a real master. I keep telling her, I don't think she understands how good she is, because she's in an area where people are fabulous with the animals, with the pets and so on. But she has something more than that. She has the ability to not only communicate, but she's very likable. She's got a great personality. She's very affable. People gravitate towards her naturally. And so she has a lot of skills in addition to the actual skills that she does have. She has a lot more about her. Now, what does this mean? It means that when she's on her journey in growing her business and looking to see what she's doing, looking for opportunities, she has to think about different ways. She can't just go and do what every other pet professional is doing, in my opinion. The reason is she's a different person. So you've got to create your own plan for you. You may have two people who are dog trainers. You may be in the same geographical area. You come from a very similar background. You may very many things may be similar about you, but there's always something different. And with this particular person, she has something more than I think a lot of the others have. So therefore, when I was advising her, and she came to me about courses actually, she'd seen other people do it, but She didn't know how to start. She didn't know the tech. So that's okay. No, I helped her out with that, but she was able to go in there. She knew the content. She created the videos, and basically she went and uploaded them and created an online course that was then seen by anybody buying her course. Right? Then comes the hard, and you know she thought that was the hard part. Well, that's the thing. It's a journey, isn't it? The journey is to find out what strategies to employ, go through it, analyze it, make a decision, then go and action it. Now, the hard bit wasn't the tech or creating the courses, the actual content. The hard bit is always marketing and selling your courses, right? So we understand that. So there's a life cycle journey there. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about when I talk about this idea of engaging customers at each stage of the life cycle. All right, so break down your clients and break down where they are in their journey, and then say, right, this person is, when they're at this stage of the journey, how can I help them? How can I engage them? How can I connect with them? How, if I'm already connected with them, how can I prompt them into saying, hey, have you ever thought about XYZ? I'm doing a free webinar. I'm doing, you can create a video, you can create a blog post, you can create a number of things to actually give information, but you're touching them in the right point. Now, okay, what if it's not the right point? Well, that's okay, because the YouTube video is always going to be there. The blog is always going to be there, right? If you send them a note or a card or a letter or a leaflet in the post or in the mail, that's always going to be there unless they throw it away, in which case they're probably not really into you anyway. But you get the idea that you're creating content or you're creating assets, digital assets, that are going to be hanging around and that people can get access to when they're ready. Okay? Just saying, don't overthink it, but do think it. Now, let's look at the next item on here. And with this, personalization as an engagement tool. Now, previously we talked about personalization, and it's very important, especially when starting out. So on here is talking about utilizing customer data, personalizing experience and communications. Yeah, and examples. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Personalization. Why is it important? Well, when I'm actually streaming with you right now, and one of the things that I'm looking at is to say, okay, with Anthony, let's say it Anthony. Anthony's on the stream right now. So Anthony, give me an example of when somebody has reached out to you and personalized their message to you. Can you do that? I'll wait for your reply. It takes a minute or two, so hopefully we'll get a reply from that. But look, one of the examples that you can do, and I mentioned this previously, when somebody joins your community or when somebody buys your course or even joins your Facebook group, joins your, you can just say, you can actually put a little post out saying, hey, welcome to the following people who've just joined us. Okay, and there's 25 people on the list this week. Okay, that's one way. You can create a video to say, hey, welcome to these people, and look at this list, and here's the list. I want to welcome you. It's the 10th of January today, 2024, start of a brand new year. We're energized, we're ready for action, and for you 25 people and the rest of the community that's already here, I have great hopes and dreams, and also I'm going to work hard for you. John, Jack, Letitia, Karen, whoever it is, boom, boom, boom. You can even give them a name check. All right. Another way to do it is to get really personal, and you can do this if you're really starting out, is to send a personal video, only a minute, to that person directly through either a text message or through Facebook Messenger or however you're communicating with them. Now, in terms of family, I actually do this for birthdays. So yesterday, one of my aunts who helped raise me, it was her 80th birthday. So I sent a personal uh, 60 or 90-second message with video, and I said, "I'm so happy that genuinely." Now, isn't that better than just sending a little happy birthday text message? Because nobody calls these days, do they? Right? Well, not many people. We don't. We stopped sending cards years ago, didn't we? Or a lot of us did. So, but a personal message saying, "Hey, I'm here today. I'm thinking of you at this moment, right now, and I'm not afraid for the world to. I'm telling you. And even what I do is, I on my family WhatsApp, I actually post it there as well. All right. So it keeps engagement. It keeps that thing. Also, it's very nice to receive. So let's see what. Give an example. Anthony saying solar companies that want to personalize messages and target people in various territories. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have that in the UK. We don't get too much sun. But yeah, I take your point. And also, with Anthony, it's working on trying to make an authority in that particular state using video. Yeah, absolutely. Well, live streaming, right? That's the way to gain authority, right? Because all I'm doing is I'm sitting here in my study talking to you, telling you about my experiences. Now, whether you understand it or not, or whether you believe it or not, that's fine. I can't control what you think. All I'm doing is I'm sending my message in the best way that I can today, in this particular moment, and hope that there's people out there who that it resonates, and then you can then take action as to however you want. All right. So that's one way to do it. So yeah, personalized messages, name checks, um, personal connections like that. And so that kind of personalized engagement works very, very well. Everybody wants their name to be called out, especially in public. But make sure you do as good a job as possible in pronouncing the name. Okay, so but look, don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid, because I think most people, if not all people, appreciate the effort that you make. Okay, and if, for example, it's a wrong pronunciation, then hopefully the person receiving it sends you a voice message back saying, "Hey, actually, it's not Nick Hill, it's Nick Hill. So that's my full name, Nick Hill." And it's very hard for a lot of people to say, right? So over the years, I've just gone and shortened it to Nick. But that's one of the ways in which, if you want to get my attention, call me by my full name, and it's on there on Facebook. Okay, so let's move on to the next item. I think you get the idea with that, right? Um, feedback loops and continuous improvement. Oh, I don't like big words. They really take it out of me. Okay, so creating channels for customer feedback and the importance of responsiveness. Integrating feedback into business practices to enhance customer satisfaction. Well, let me tell you a story. All right. Let me tell you a story, folks. Back in the day, and I said my background is not just as a college lecturer, so I have an education and development background, but also I have a tech background as well. So I was a technical trainer, technical consultant, lead consultant, technical director of a software distributor. And what that means is that we we not only were technical, but everybody in the company sold, because we were a small company. All right. And one of the things that we used to do very well, much better than our competitors, was that you know how you get an automated message. So I'm now gonna make you think about what it is you want for your business, because later on we're going to talk about the technology, and one of the ways in which you can get ahead is by putting an autoresponder on your email saying, "Hey, thanks very much for sending me an email. My work hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I aim to reply back within 2 working days." Brilliant. Now, A lot of people think that that's very professional, that's very good, and it's fit for purpose. Well, I don't think it is. With the responsiveness for our company, uh, we were a small company. When I joined, it was 5 people with a £5 million turnover, which is what, $7 million. And one of the ways in which we grew to 5 times the size and almost 4 or 5 times the turnover, 5 or 6 times the turnover over a 5-year period, is that we were responsive. When anybody had a question, we answered it, we acknowledged it. So I'll give you an example. When somebody sent us an email, we never had autoresponders. What we did was, our SLA was that somebody in the office, whoever responsibility was, or whichever team it fell to, and again, we had 5 people, so it was often a team of 1 for, my department was a team of 1. My job was to make sure I send an acknowledgement, a personal acknowledgement that I typed out myself within 15 minutes. Just think about that. Often it would be within 5 because I had my laptop open, my email open on my laptop, and the email would pop up in a particular mailbox. Why is that important? Well, what happened was that because we were responsive, what we were trying to do, yes, we were trying to respond quickly. Okay, we want to, they found us. They found us by Googling us. Even in those days, they had Google, by the way, back about, 20 years ago, nearly 20 years ago. But, through the search engines and whatever, they typed in Altiris Consultant. Altiris is a piece of software that we were experts in. And they found us, and they found other people on the first page, and they must have emailed everybody on that page. My job was to give them a human reply, ask them a question, or say something that they know it's an authentic live message. And I asked them, what questions do you have that I can answer immediately by email? Or if you wish, I can get on a call with you, or get on a web meeting with you, or Zoom call with you back in the day. So I'm offering a channel for feedback. I'm asking them, do they have any questions? In which case, I'm happy to take it in whichever form that they have it in. And also, I want them to notice me. I want them to not think about anybody else. And I don't want them to go and search on page 2 for any more Altiris consultants. And with this manner, in this way, we grew our business from a 5 million turnover. And this is one of the ways, by the way. Throughout the business, we had this SLA throughout. So in a matter of 5 or 6, 7 years, we grew it from $7 million turnover to 35 million, and 5 staff to 35 staff. Okay, so it was fabulous because anybody new who came in knew that SLA is there. Now, what did the other people do that they emailed? I remember once, getting on with people, talking with them, and then one time, this particular customer said to me, "Do you remember when I first emailed you?" "Yeah." So, well, I've just received an email back from another company, and I sent them the same email, and they've asked me what my issues are and what problem and how can they help. Unfortunately, it was 3.5 months later. Okay, do you think that company got anywhere? No. We were responsive. We created the mechanism by which we can converse with people, answer their questions, let them know that we're experts that they can rely on. And then, yes, download the software. And if you've got any questions during the trial, let us know. If you need an extension, let us know. Talk to us. If you talk to us, and if you keep the communication going, we'll make sure we do our bit, and we will be responsive. And that led to not only good conversations. They gave us feedback on things that perhaps they were expecting and so on. But also, we increased customer satisfaction. We grew our sales tremendously, exponentially. So now that's one way for one type of company. And you say, well, it's not always possible. Well, let me ask you, you've got to have a good way of actually getting somebody's attention when they reach out to you. If they've sent you an email or a request through social media, through or a friend request or whatever, take it seriously. It's important. People don't like to be ignored. Think about the last time you sent a message to a big company and they never bothered to reply back. How did that make you feel? You do not want to carry on that practice with your company, however big it is. If you're not going to respond, don't have an email. Don't publicize it. Give a number where people can leave a message or however you want to do it. But whatever means you create to receive messages, make sure you look at them and action them, acknowledge them as soon as you can. Okay? So that's customer engagement on there. Technology in customer engagement. Yes, absolutely. Leveraging CRM, chatbots, other tech solutions to maintain and analyze engagement. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Balancing automation with the human touch. This is exactly what I said with this idea that we had the technology to do the autoresponders. We never did it because we knew it was important to have the personal touch, to have immediate attention and open up dialogue to look as though we're organized, we're on it. We're aware. We are waiting for you to message us, and we are ready for action to help you with the issue you're having, or to solve a problem for you, or to work with you in implementing software. Okay, so that technology is there, but don't just think that you have to make everything about the tech. It's not always about the tech. Okay, it's about using the right tech to the right level for what you're trying to do and the type of engagement, the type of culture you have in your organization, the type of feeling that you want to give to your prospective clients and visitors. It's very important that you think about this. Imagine how, again, I talked about this before. Imagine how you felt when you were in a situation where you were ignored, or you get through to the wrong department, or we've all done that. We've rung people and, oh yeah, I'm looking for this question. Oh no, you threw to the wrong department. Okay, well, and then you explain again what your issue is. Oh, you threw to the wrong department. Things like that. Sometimes the tech kills us, and you've got to manage your tech very well. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is to say, hey, why don't you just call us up between these hours, and I guarantee somebody will answer. Or if they're busy, you leave a message, we'll call you back within the hour. Right? That's it. That if you can guarantee something like that, then that's part of your brand. That's part of your customer engagement strategy. You want to maintain engagement, and also you're going to note down, and we're going to look at figures as well. You're going to make a note of how you connect with people, how you engage with people. Let's have a look at this. CRM, chatbots, and so on. So chatbots are reasonably new, I would say. I mean, that's a whole session in itself, actually. So if you know about those, yes, try use them. If you don't know about them, then I suggest let's look at the CRM first. Okay, the CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Database. Now, those are big words again. I don't like big words. Basically, if you can imagine that back in the day, right, before mobile phone, okay, if you don't remember a time before mobile phones, this may be challenging. But look, before mobile phones, or before you you had to remember people's names, addresses, and telephone numbers, didn't you? And we used to put them in diaries or pocketbooks or somewhere. We had to put them some. So, for example, my diary, which I carry around with me usually, unless I'm on a night out, actually had details of names, numbers, and so on. But also, um, I kept the information up there. All my family, I knew all the telephone. I can even recite telephone numbers now, 30, 40 years later, because you had to know who was going to tell you. So those are databases. Databases where you store information. They can be in a book, they can be index cards, they can be files in a filing cabinet, or they could be on a computer. They could be in your head, in your brain. So that's what a CRM is, customer relationship management database. It means that if you put down all the information that you know about this particular lead or prospect that's come to you, that may have emailed you, and you have in a CRM system, you can actually put in the original email that you got, so you can see that that's there. You can even put in the reply that you sent them. Any engagement that you have by email, you can actually upload automatically into the CRM, and therefore you or somebody else in your organization can look and see the conversations that have taken place. Now, what if what if that person has called you up? No problem. When you're talking to them on your computer, you can actually have the CRM up. You can be making notes and typing directly onto their record or their area, and make a note of what you've talked to them about. What, if you said, "Hey, no problem, I'll get that. I'll get this new part out to you by the close of play today." You have to put that down as an action, that by 5 p.m. today, that part or information or email or whatever it is you promised to do is done. And that creates a task in the auto or in the CRM, which then prompts you later on as well. Okay? Because the CRM is there to help you to be organized and make sure that whatever you say you're going to do, that you do. Also, it reminds you of things so that you don't have everything up here and you forget some things. I'll give you an example. CRMs that we used, again, back in the day when I was a technical director, and I was sales. I was doing technical sales. If, for example, I had a meeting and that meeting was cancelled, if somebody didn't turn up or whatever it was, I had other things to do. But whether it was on my phone or whether it was on my laptop, I would have 10 people that I could call that I needed to nudge or touch or get in touch with to remind them, "Hey, we talked about this. Have you made a decision yet?" And those are the top 10 people who were most likely to get the deal across the line with us and purchase from us. So whenever somebody goes out for a meeting and a meeting's cancelled or somebody's delayed, often they'll go, "Oh, let me have a coffee and whatever, chill out, read the paper, talk to my next door neighbor about the football last night." Or you could be actually ringing somebody up, making an impact, and hopefully closing a deal or two while you wait for your meeting to start, or you wait for the next meeting that you've arranged. So the CRM helps organize you, focuses you. It's not just a record taking tool, it can be used as a marketing tool, but specifically as a sales tool. And it can be valuable. I think that when we sold the company, I think it actually added maybe $500,000 or even $1 million onto the price of it when it was sold, because we were that good at leveraging it, at working with it, cleaning the information in it, and being spot on. Okay. Now, for you starting out your business, you could have a simple spreadsheet, or there are many CRMs available now that you can use for free. Just go and Google it. This may be something that if you're interested, we can do more work on. But they're so easy to use nowadays, and you don't necessarily have to buy a solution. You can use a free version, and that will be enough to get started. Okay. So I digress. Let's move on. We talked about the technology on there. Um, rewarding loyalty and advocacy. Okay, so loyalty programs again tied to the tech, tied to the CRM. The CRM will tell you how many deals you've done by month or by product or even by customer. And by customer, you can actually look and see that, oh, this person's bought almost everything that we've put out onto the market. Great. How can we reward them? How can we get a referral from them? How can we get a testimonial from them? Okay, so and on here, and this is deliberate, by the way, encouraging user-generated content and advocacy through community recognition. Okay, so in this particular case, the idea is that if you have somebody who loves what you do, they love what you produce, they buy from you, they're telling your friends, okay, reward them. Why wouldn't you? Put in a referral program whereby if somebody refers a new client, they get a prize or a discount on their next order or something else, whatever that something else is. Maybe a chance to win a free weekend away for them and their partner. Whatever it is, depending on the market you're in. And it's important that the loyalty program is authentic. It comes from the heart. It's not just purely sales, because a lot of people don't like the sales elements of it. But you big them up in your community. You say, hey, would you like to come and speak at our next event? And I want to showcase you and how you use our products. And I want to big you up in terms of your business in front of a room of 50 people or 200 people. Now, very unlikely that any business person is going to turn down that opportunity. Partly because of personal and kudos and so on, but also the ability to speak in front of people that they maybe do not know. It's great. It's great for marketing. It's great for authority. All right. So those loyalty programs and incentivizing repeat business and referrals are great. Even if you give 20% of a new person's first order, that's 80% more than you would have got had it not been for this person. Okay, so just don't be afraid to reward and be consistent with it, and don't be stingy with it. Be generous with it, because these supporters and these advocates, these super fans, will help you grow your business and reach into networks that you currently do not have access. And also with user-generated content, you can ask them to create a video or a testimonial that you can put onto your Facebook page, that you can include on your web pages, that you can actually play at live events and say, hey, this is what some of the people found, this particular product that I want to talk to you about, or this particular service I want to talk to you about today. Here's a few people who've used it, and don't take it from me. Just listen to what they have to say. It's so powerful. Testimonials on a web page or videos or even written testimonials, but videos especially are fantastic. So do not skimp on that. Look at opportunities for that wherever you go. Okay, so we talked about various things on here, and I mentioned this, measuring engagement success. Now, this is the data. So far, most of what I've talked about previously, it's not really specific. It's not really necessarily data driven. Yes, you can count up the number of emails that you get, and then the number of leads that come out of those emails and responses, and the number of customers that come out. Okay, yeah, you can do that. And so these key metrics, all right, and the KPIs. KPI means key performance indicator. So these are very important numbers to help you with your sales and marketing process. And here you want to use this information to assess the level of engagement you're having with not only your community, but people new to you or new leads that are coming in. This data can help you drive the decisions that you make and even change the way in which you do it, because you've opened up the avenues for feedback, um, for engagement, for surveys, for suggestions, for all of those kind of things. And the reason why that is important is that you want to know how you're perceived, how much people trust you, how much people like you. um, what is it that you're missing? Ask your customers. What else do you think we can do to help you? I'll give you one example, right? So we were a software distributor. We also created our own software. And one of the key verticals of key markets that we had was the education sector. So back in the day, we used to create software, we used to distribute software that would, for example, control computers and within schools, for example, and quickly re-image them, make them work again, because especially 20 years ago, managing PCs in the classroom was very much more difficult. So we would have tools like that. And so we talked to our customers, the people who ran the networks in the schools. What is it that you're lacking? What is it that you've looked in the market and you haven't found something that's good, or good enough for you to use in your schools? And I'll always remember this. And they said, we want the ability to control the internet usage in the classroom. We want the teachers to be able to turn it on and off. So there are times when, yes, the teacher is happy for the kids to go and use the internet for whatever they wanted, obviously within reason of taste, decency, etc. And there are times when the teacher wants them to use the internet for specific websites, educational websites. And then there are times when they don't want internet at all. And they want that in the control of the teacher, almost as a flick of a switch. Have you got something like that? Well, it took probably about 6 or 8 months, I believe. And we gave them a solution. And we sold a product called Browse Control. And then we followed that up with Browse Reporter. And what that meant was that all the functionality that I just described to you about a teacher being able to go and say, right, none of the computers can have internet. None of the computers can have, or the computers can only go to certain sites, or the computers can have access to anything. But also, we put in there the fact that the teacher can control and say, right, this machine over here and this machine over here, those two pupils have done the work I've asked them. As a reward, we're going to allow them for the internet for the last 15 minutes of the class. And they could do that for individual machines as well. Great. So not only did we talk to the people, we created a solution for them, which they bought. We created it, so we weren't handing off. We weren't selling somebody else's software. We were selling our own software. We had a development team offshore that we managed and ran, and we created a follow-up product called Browse Reporter, where it would report on the websites that, for example, and this Browse Control software, not only did we sell it in schools, but we sold it into companies as well. And one of the things that the companies wanted was some way of reporting the sites that somebody visited. Now, we were collecting the information. We just put it in a format which was easy to configure and bring up. And you can actually go and see what websites people have been using and for how long, and whether they were actively on it or not. Think about that. Okay. So in the UK, we don't have privacy laws that stop us doing that in the workplace. In countries like France and other European countries, there is a restriction. So we had to be careful about what we did, how we did it, where we did it, because we're a global company. But the feedback that people gave us, the trust and the level of engagement that we had with them, the relationship that we had with them, was enough for us to go and develop a product which was very, very successful for us. And it worked and it did the job for them. So, you know, so don't ever be afraid of talking with people, even if somebody's going to give you criticisms. As long as you can actually help them put the criticism in a constructive manner, then it's all good. It's more than good, in fact, because ultimately, who knows better how good a product or service you have, you or your customers? Think about it. Okay, so you get the idea that uh, keep metrics, KPIs, and don't forget with YouTube, with all of the ways in which you engage people on Facebook and Twitter and all of these social media platforms, you get data that you can see. You can even test adverts and information and even emails that you send out there. It's called A/B testing, right? You have to create two versions of the same thing, and then over a period of time, see which one does better and why this one is not as good as this one. Then make that first one better, and then test it out again, and then the second one play more of because you're getting more response, right? So there's a number of different ways that you can do, because ultimately, and here's the thing, no matter what your marketing plan says, no matter how good a marketing plan it is, when you get information in, when you get data through those KPIs, you've got to say, is the marketing plan still fit for purpose, or do we need to pivot or change anything with it to then make sure that remember, it's not about the plan. The most important thing is not the plan. The most important thing is the target that you're looking at. Don't let anything get in the way of getting to the target, but make sure that the data tells you that you're heading towards a target, whatever that target is. Okay? Right. In summary, we've had a look at the customer life cycle, know what they are, who they are, and what they're experiencing. Personalization, yeah, absolutely. Call people out by name. Send personal emails, personal messages, even videos. Even as a group, it's fine. But people love their name to be called out, especially in a group. Most people. Feedback loops, continuous improvement. Yes, absolutely. Open dialogue. Connect with people. Ask them, hey, what did you think of this? Is there any suggestions you can make? Is there anything that didn't work for you the way you thought it should? Now, remember, not every person is going to give you something that you can use, but still give them a voice and then take it on board. Okay. Technology we talked about, you can have autoresponders, you can have the idea of CRMs and chatbots and so on as well. Rewarding loyalty, absolutely. This will help you grow your business, create super fans. And also, when you're doing live streams or uh, other things, or managing Facebook groups, some of these people would be more than happy to be moderators or admins to help you manage the community. And we talked about that on the previous stream as well. Okay. And finally, measuring engaging success. Everything that you do, if you can actually find the data for it, that will help you make better decisions. Don't just go on feeling. Don't just go on energy. Don't just go on vibe. Look at the data. Okay. Now, um, here's the call to action. What are we looking for here? So, for example, one of the things that you can do is we can actually have for example, we've got private consultations. There we go. There's a link on there. And also what I'm going to do is to put it on the chat. So if you specifically want to have a chat with me, you can actually go and make sure that you talk to me right there. I'll put it into the chat. Next thing is go to the events page. And what that is the I'll show you on there. So it's grooveasia.cm/events. So let me just come over here. I'm going to show you on the screen. And as you can see on here, grooveasia.cm/events, press enter. And this will show you all our activities in Groove Asia this week. All right. So, for example, today, what have we got? Courses and communities. Right. Tomorrow, AI fundamentals. We've got two things going on. Ching Yu's actually running this, and they're both the same. So please attend one of them at least. And if you click on it, it'll give you a link where you can actually find out more details or get the register for this particular event. Other things are going on. Tyra's doing her GLU, her Power Hour. Karen and Peter are doing their GLUs, and next week we've got a number of things going on. Let's see what's going on. We have the Groove coaching as normal. We have Power Hours, other GLUs, and we've got Groove Live as well, Groove AI Live. And that's one of the things that we do for Groove CM, where we talk about Groove AI. Fantastic. Number of things to do. I want you to take action, talk to me, give me a buzz, come to our events. Now, in particular, I want you to just think about the kind of things that we've talked about today. Think about the idea that you can create a course. You won't necessarily have all the information you need. You don't necessarily have all the skills you need, but we're running through and helping you to go and deliver that, to help you create that and to deliver it. And one of the ways in which, as I mentioned, is that we're having 5-day challenges starting the 22nd of January, which is going to be at 6 a.m. Kuala Lumpur time, which is GMT +8. Translate that into your time zone. And next week, I'll give you more details where you can actually go in and sign up for it as well. But one of the things that we want to do every month, we're going to do a 5-day challenge to help you use Groove and the Groove technology to move along and help your business. Having said that, I wish you the best of luck. Have a wonderful week. Again, Happy New Year to you. Have a brilliant time this year, successful time, and I will see you on the next broadcast. Take care and good night.
Hi, this is Simon Liang with GrooveAsia.cm. Are you already a part of the #1 community in the world? If not, do so right now for free training and support, along with live sessions to help you succeed. Start now by joining us in our private Facebook group and get more exclusive video content on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe with notifications turned on for all updates. Join our community right now. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on the inside at GrooveAsia.cm.